with the Yankees losing the way that they have and the pure mediocrity of the team on the field. Sometimes I will see my Twitter feed, and sometimes I'll get it on my text, and it's the same all caps, very angry man. And I'm like, okay, let's get him on here together. You and I are going to work this out. Nick Turturro here on the Rich Eisen Show. Diehard Yankee fan and somebody whose career work I loved on NYPD Blue and everything else you do. Good to see you, Nick.
You too, buddy. I wish it was under better circumstances.
No, well, you know what? We're here, though.
I know.
We're here. I know what's wrong with the team. What do you think that's wrong with the team?
I think the team is just, they're built wrong. I think it's been heading that way since 18. 17, I thought we had some great mojo. We had Greg Bird, a left-handed hitter. We had Didi Gregorius. We even had the godfather. We had some chemistry, and then we made this bad trade for Stanton, which I think is the beginning of everything that went wrong. The balance of the team has been out of whack for a couple of years now. I don't know why they don't see it. We see it. I see it. You see it. What's the problem? What's the problem? We haven't won a championship since 2009. We've basically had one championship in 20 years. People are like, be quiet, you're spoiled. I'm not spoiled. I'm not spoiled. I became a Yankee fan in 73 when they sucked. They won in 77, 78. All right, I had a run in the 90s. We had droughts, 18 years from 78 to 96, right?
Yeah, I remember
Now
that.
we had one token championship. The Red Sox have kicked our ass. 04, 07, 13, 18. The Rays are kicking our butt. Other teams, the Astros. I mean, come on, we've become very content with being like somewhat relevant. We're a right-handed, one-note team.
That is a fact. And wouldn't that be incredible, Chris Brockman, if Mr. Turturro is spot on here, that the Stanton trade is what began to unravel or make it even more one-dimensional. And my friend across the aisle, Chris Brockman, and the rest of New England, the only word for it was bitching up a storm and complaining that Jeter handed the Yankees gift wrap in Stanton.
Yeah.
And it was you were saying it was Jeter was doing a favor to his whole team.
Yeah, man,
you know?
it reeked of Kevin McHale doing Doc Rivers a favor, sending Kevin Garnett to the Celtics, and then the championship incurred. It just seemed like it was, hey, you take this awesome guy who hits 50 home runs and is an MVP, but he has fallen off a cliff.
Well, I don't know when he cooks with gas, though. I mean, which he'll spike and do it, and then invariably he'll get hurt, or then. And then interleague play happens and he doesn't play for a week or what have you.
But you don't know a guy till you know him. You don't know a woman till you live with her. You might fall in love and then you live with the woman and you go, oh my God, it's a nightmare. You know what I mean? You got to look at somebody day to day. You got to watch them all the time to know what they are. And I never saw this guy. He's sexy. He hits the ball further than anybody. Yeah, he's powerful. But there's a flip side to that. And the flip side isn't good. He's not consistent. He's a strikeout waiting to happen. When he's good, he's good. But, you can't count on him. You can't really just say, hey, this guy's going to fight. He's going to get his bat on the ball. He's going to, he's a good fit. I mean, if we would have got the other guy, Yelich, Jeter really stuck it to us. And that contract. I mean, I hate to say that. Jeter, of all people, said, here, take him.
Of course.
Take him. Yelich was out there. He gave Yelich away. Yeah. Yelich would have been perfect for this team. Could you imagine this team with Yelich? And they had Didi. And they could have went out this offseason and I was talking about this yesterday with Jeff Nelson. Schwarber was out there. Schwarber for no money. Who would have been a dynamite hitter, a great DH.
At the short porch there,
yeah.
Would have been a monster.
But then he's also another one of those guys, though.
I understand.
But, Nick Turturro here on the Rich Eisen Show. And I was saying the other day, and because I know you're a diehard Yankee fan, but you love the sport. You see all the games. You see
right.
as much as you can. Just building a team, I would now build a team where it's contact. That's all you got to do. You have to put the ball in play. If you strike out, it is a walk of shame to come back to my dugout and look at me.
Right.
And the rest of the team. Like I want people who are going to put the ball in play. I mean, a perfect example, was what the Red Sox did. I think the Red Sox put a handful of runs on the Yankees this weekend, didn't even get the ball out of the infield, but they made
contact.
And they made the Yankees make plays. I mean, the Rays, the Rays are just a king of making contact. Obviously, Arozarena strikes out a lot, but everybody has one or two players these days that strike out a lot. But you got to put the ball and play the San Francisco Giants at 50 wins.
I don't even know who's on that team. Who's on that team? I don't know. But they won 50 games.
Buster
I don't even like that manager.
No.
Buster Posey, all right. They got Crawford and who's the other guy? Belt from the old winning teams. But other than that, I couldn't tell you who's on that team. No. Look at the Padres. Look at the Padres.
The A's.
The A's are a fun team. I was giving them love, and they were writing articles. Oh, Turturro's giving the A's love, and he's complimenting, Melvin. And I go, yeah, they're fun to watch. This team, I want to love them. I want to fall in love. I can't fall in love with them. You know what I mean? I'm trying. I'm really trying. They're a bad watch. I've seen bad Yankee teams that were fun to watch. They were fun. They had some romance in them. They had something. Right. They had somebody on the team I really liked. I still love Judge. I mean, I like LeMahieu, even though he's not having a great year. But this team is all wrong. They got to start over.
Yeah, there's your tweet. That's it. I had to turn it off 8-2. I cannot watch until heads roll. So you do know that the Red Sox added another run, right? 9-2.
Yes, I did.
9-2.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I'll say that I'm never going back, but I'm a sick person that way. I'm like, I'm done. And my daughter's like, didn't you say you were done? I said, yeah, I know. What I say is one thing. How I feel is another. Okay? That's a line from the Honeymooners. What I said about Norton is one thing. How I feel about him is another. And that's true in life. A lot of times you might say, I hate you. I hate your guts. But me deep down, I love her. I still love you. You know what I mean? But you're just angry. You're upset.
You're just angry. It's a moment.
Yeah, listen, I want them to win. I want them to do it. And these guys on Twitter, oh, you're a front runner. You're fair weather. Up yours. I'm a front runner. I'm a true fan through thick and thick. I just call it the way it is. And I say it in a harsh way now because I'm frustrated. That's all. I just want to see them play better. Even if they don't win. Lose with dignity. Go down fighting.
See, that's the whole thing, too. Nick Turturro here on the Rich Eisen Show. It's just, I don't know what it is. And this is a New York thing. Do you remember Kevin McReynolds used to play for the Mets? You remember him, right, TJ?
Yes, yep.
Right? And he didn't have a pulse. He didn't have a Met fans would go crazy. And those people don't do well in New York. No matter, I want to see someone like O'Neill take a bat to a Gatorade, can.
Yeah.
And like what Brett Gardner did, the Savages in the Box, Aaron Boone from 2 years ago. Like, there doesn't seem to be any sort of anger about what's going on.
There's no personality on this team. You see the Red Sox throwing a guy through they're wheeling a guy through the dugout. Yeah. The Padres have a big thing around their neck. Come on, we need somebody with some personality. Who is this team? That's what I mean. What are they? Who are they? I mean, I'm not in the dugout. If they put me as a honorary bat boy or something like that, maybe I could do something.
I'd love to see that.
That would be something. I know a woman wrote a letter in 1960. She's getting that. That should be me. I should get that shot. For everything I've done, I was almost a bat boy in 77. Long story. And it didn't work out.
What do you mean?
Well, there was a kid in my school. He was a bat boy, Sarandria. He was a Yankee bat boy in 77.
Like when Reggie was there? And
listen to this story.
Munson
I was at St. Agnes Cathedral, and everybody said, I didn't know the kid. He was from Rosedale, and he was the Yankee bat. He didn't even care that he had the job.
What?
Yes, to me, it didn't seem like he appreciated it. He was probably born into it. So anyway, they said, Sarandria's looking for it, and everybody said, you got to go get this guy, Nick Turturro. So I tracked the guy down. I said, hey, I heard that do you understand that I'm interested? I said, he goes, I would recommend you, but they want a black kid. I said, what? I said, I'm the wrong color. I was like, just tell him I'm mixed, anything, whatever. I should have did my DNA. So and the kid that got the job, he didn't even care. They fired him, whatever. I was dying. I saw him at third base. I was like, that should be me. I should be on the field. I should have that job.
Ooh, 77 too.
So I missed out. I know there's this girl who wants to be a bat boy from the 60s, but I'm like, I'm available. You know what I mean?
I think you could change the tide, Nick.
I think I could help. It couldn't hurt. It couldn't hurt. You know what I mean? A little mojo. What do they got to lose? What do they got to lose? Brian Cashman, Boone, all these guys. I'm out there. That's all. I put it out there. But maybe I'm too wild for them or something. I don't know what the problem is.
I think that might be it.
Yeah.
You'd have more personality than anyone on the team right now.
That's true. That's true. And that's sad.
What do you think of all the check and pitch? Are you concerned that Cole is not going to be the same now because the spider tack's gone?
I don't know
how. What do you think of that with all the checking of the pitchers and stuff?
I'm a little concerned. I think they should have did it in the middle of the season. And I don't know what they were doing. And I don't understand this whole sticky thing. And I don't know to what degree, you know, and it's sort of stupid that they're doing it now. You know, maybe these guys were abusing it. I don't know how bad it was, but I am a little concerned. I mean, they should have did it in the beginning of the year, not the middle of the year. MLB, they're always trying to be, you know, slick. They always try to do things, but worry about the guys calling strikes. They can't even call a strike these days. Have you seen the strike zone?
I watched actually an Oriole-Blue Jay game yesterday. Jim Palmer nearly, wherever he was calling the game, I don't know if, I doubt he was in Buffalo where the Blue Jays are playing right now. I doubt if he was, he's probably in his house. He was ready to jump out and hit. Like there were two balls that were, two strikes that were called balls. I mean, obviously what happened to the Yankees in the last time they played the Red Sox in Yankee Stadium and Sunday Night Baseball was terrible. I don't know. It's obviously the job's more difficult to do. Certainly when they're now actually they threw out a pitcher for the first time.
Yeah,
did you see that?
Yeah.
The Mariners.
Yeah, the Mariners, right?
They said it was rosin.
Yeah.
And then rosin.
Hector Santiago was rosin in his glove.
Yeah, he said I only used rosin. I had it on the inside of my glove because it was really hot and I didn't want the sweat dripping off my hand.
And how about Girardi using it against Scherzer in the middle of an inning?
Yeah. Well, Girardi's a little tightly wound.
That's one way of putting it.
You don't want to fight that dude. He will kick ass.
But Scherzer, though, is also someone you don't want to mess with.
Scherzer don't scare me. Girardi's a killer. He's a killer. That guy is tightly wound.
With his binder?
What?
With his binder? He's writing
his
down
binder,
his notes?
Yeah, his binder doesn't make him any more relaxed. He needs a good massage. Somebody needs to rub his neck. Because he's like this, Joe. You know, I threw out a pitch to him in the spring training, 96.
Okay.
I sat with George Steinbrenner. I did all these commercials for ESPN. They're legendary commercials. It was a guy playing Abe Lincoln and me, revitalizing baseball. And they're great commercials. It was like the funniest crap ESPN ever did. And you got to find it somewhere.
Okay.
It's me on the road. And anyway, I was in Tampa. They opened up the Legends Field. And they let me throw out a pitch. I think I threw like a cutter or something. Cone was like, wow. And Girardi caught the ball. I didn't know who Joe Girardi was. It was a nice pitch. I didn't blow it, you know. And then I sat with George. I was on, you know, the TV show, and I'm sitting with Steinbrenner. It was amazing. He had a windbreaker on. He says, you know, we got big things about this kid Jeter, Nick. And I was like, yeah, I've heard about him. I was like, what an amazing day. What an amazing 4 days of shooting like these baseball commercials. And then my agent at the time, Marty Lesack, funny guy, he wanted me to get bats. You know Marty.
Sure. He's a diehard Yankee fan.
Crazy. He calls me what are we going to do, baby? What are we going to do, honey? I go, Marty, what do you, say something. Go out there and say something. I go, Marty, I am saying stuff every day.
Yeah, does he not see you?
No, he doesn't watch stuff. He's like, well, what happened? What do you mean, what happened? Are you not watching the game? Did you not watch my Twitter? You know, he's hilarious. So he was like, did you get me the bat? Did you get a bat? I go, I got the bat. Don't call me 3 o'clock in the morning to find out if I got you the bat.
So Steinbrenner gave you a bat and everything like that?
All the guys I did commercials with, Barry Larkin, Darren Dalton, they all gave me bats. You know, Wade Chicken Boggs, who I did one. Because when they won in 96, they brought me on the field. You were probably there that night, Rich. And somehow I got into the clubhouse. And I was doing interviews for some Westchester station. I had no voice. They were like, do interviews. And I was interviewing like the Yankee players, and it was hysterical. That was in '96.
Well, Girardi hit that triple to wrap the series up.
Yeah,
the Yankees winning 4 in a row against some of the big pitchers. We got Tom Glavine calling into the show in a couple of days. I think we'll probably neglect to bring this up to him, but you know, I mean, that was off of Maddox, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm sure
Greg Maddox in Game 6, Girardi had a triple.
Yeah,
that put the
him
thing
away.
in the ice. In the it was all iced after that.
Oh, that was Girardi's moment. I mean, that place was rocking that night, rocking. I mean, they lost the first 2, they won the next 3. I stayed till Saturday night. We were shooting exteriors. It was a week that I'll never forget. I mean, the other day, you know what killed me? When a guy tagged up on a fly ball to first. I said, this.
Luke Voigt. Oh. It was Devers who came home.
Yeah. On a fly ball. I said, I've had it. This is it. It doesn't get any worse than that.
I hate to tell you, man, it's a 5-alarm fire right now for the Yankees.
You're right.
There's no question in my mind that they're a team that strikes out way too much, hits into way too many double plays, doesn't put the ball into play nearly enough. And I don't know how that's going to turn around unless there's the entire team has an epiphany and can start actually hitting. They don't have anybody from the left side. Nobody. They don't have anybody after Cole. I mean, Montgomery and Tyone and whatever.
Tyone, I don't want to hear about that guy.
I'm saying they don't, Yankees used to be 2, 3, 4 deep. They don't have those guys anymore. I never thought I'd be wondering where Tanaka is. And then when it all comes down to it, I'll be very honest with you. You mentioned Steinbrenner's name, and he was the bane of my world when Mattingly, who's on tomorrow's show. I mean, what Steinbrenner did to Mattingly, I wanted him out. And then when Steinbrenner went away is when the Yankees finally were able to just turn to Stick Michael and Bob Watson and let them do their thing.
Right.
And Cashman was learning at their side, and that's when the Yankees with Torrey put it all together for all those years. And for me, I never thought I would say this. They need somebody like Steinbrenner to come back and kick somebody's ass.
They do.
That not every team needs that, but what happened this weekend would be right now it's just like, okay, we'll see what happens tonight because we'll see somebody's exit velocity will take care of it, and the spin rate will get to where it needs to be.
Right.
And that's the way it sort of seems to be right now.
I know. It's like they've accepted being a mediocre baseball team. And that, this is the team, but we believe in them.
Right.
And I'm like, it's not working, man. It's not, and it's not going to change. No miracles are going to happen. I realize it now. I'm not going to get excited. I don't care if they try to suck me in and try to get me up in the air because they're always going to let me down. So I'm not buying it no more the rest of the season.
Are you serious? Are you not watching games?
No, I'll be watching. I say I'm not watching, but don't believe that. That's,
okay.
That's not really true.
Nick Turturro. Here in studio to wrap up the show. What's that shirt you're wearing? That's like a Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah, it's
right?
it's the Sandlot shirt. So since you like one, I'm gonna try.
Well, I mean, it's like a Hawaiian shirt where it looks like hot dogs, right?
Yeah.
And Smalls.
Yeah.
Pointing at, calling a shot, right?
Yeah, Judge was wearing it, and that's how I researched it, and because I watch fashion. I'm a fashion guy.
Okay.
Certain kinds of fashion, vintage, whatever.
Okay.
I have a good eye. So it's my hobby. So I saw the shirt and I said, I got to get it. I got to get it. So, I become obsessed with things. And so every time I put it on, people love it.
Okay. I do. It's a choice.
What are you, a large?
I'm a large.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you're in good shape. Better
Thank
shape
you.
than me.
I don't know about that.
Oh, you are.
I'm trying to watch myself. I'm trying to watch myself.
Yeah.
I could see the way
you're
you get it.
younger than me. You're my wife's age.
I'm 52.
I know.
I just
said, my God, you're 52.
I'm not. How old are you?
59. Trying to make it to 60.
You're gonna.
Stop watching the Yankees if you want to go to 60.
No, it's bad. Other than my grandson coming in, he's been saving me. 18 months old, you got to see this kid swing. It's really a phenomenon. I'll have to send you a video of him. Santino.
He's got somebody who's 17 months, right? 16 months?
My kid's got an amazing golf swing already.
Yeah, he's got the big high finish. The little boy just finishes high, nice and high.
Did you teach him?
Obsessed. Well, all we do is watch golf and baseball. So
right.
He's obsessed.
And he's picked it up.
He's picked it up. All he wants to do is hit balls in the backyard.
Yeah, and his mother's a big Braves fan, so he watches Albies and he watches Acuna and he watches Freeman. So he was watching a better team.
Yeah. He's
they got
watching a
better
good
pitching.
swing.
They got better everything.
Yeah.
Now that's a baseball team. They strike out a lot.
The Braves?
Yeah.
Yeah, they strike
But
out a lot.
they put the ball in play and they hit it out of the yard, and they got young players that go out of their skulls right now.
They can't pitch. That's kind of their problem right now.
Yeah, they got Max Fried over there, a kid from our neighborhood.
Yeah, he's hurt though.
Oh my gosh. So while you're all worked up, give me your best Caruso story. Come on now.
David Caruso? You're obsessed with Caruso, right?
Are you kidding me? Why wouldn't I be? Who isn't obsessed with him?
I love Caruso. I really do. I mean, I took him into a pitch one time. He wrote this show called Good Cop, Bad Cop.
He wrote it.
He wrote it.
Okay.
Yeah, because he had seen, I did a pilot one year for the WB, and he came to the taping, and he was moved. We should have got picked up, whatever. We got some girl with big breasts got picked up over us. Now, still very sore with me, because this was a great show I did. It was called Nick. It didn't have a great title. You need a good title.
Yes.
Like the one I'm trying to sell now has a good title. I have a new show called Band of Idiots. That's a good title.
That's a great title.
Okay.
The Nick show was not a good title, but it was a really like a modern day All in the Family. And Caruso, came to the taping.
And he was moved.
He was moved, with the red hair. He was like, Nick, you really he surprised me. He was like, he always used to compliment me. Because at the beginning, when I wasn't sure when I first started with him, I'd be like, I only had a line here, a line there. I'd be like, Dave, am I okay? He was like, you're beautiful. Beautiful. Don't let anybody mess with you. I said, what? Don't let anybody mess with you.
Okay. Yeah.
So we went and did a pitch at like UTA and I had, I started knowing how to do these pitches, and it was his show. He wrote it. So I went in the room and I went wild on the agent. I was like, what do you bring to the table? I brought Caruso. I brought the script. I went wild on it. And these guys, and he was like loving it. The agent was like, you better back down. I said, don't tell me to back down. I said, you're not bringing, nothing to the table. And so Caruso goes, who would have thought that Turturro was the bad guy? He loved it that I went out on a limb for him.
Yeah.
And he just sat back, and he was like, man, you are one piece of work, and but then, the guy got on CSI and he was like, hey, Dave, can you throw me a bone or whatever? I was like, I called him up and I go, they're doing a spinoff, Dave. Oh, they are? I go, what do you mean they are? Come on, so I loved Caruso. I still love him, but, Caruso is for Caruso. He told me a funny story about De Niro, that De Niro reamed him on Mad Dog and Glory. He said he didn't like me. I said, why? Because he probably tried to step on, De Niro, Bob's toe. I mean, you're not going to push a guy like that around. That ain't going to happen. So he took him in the corner and he goes, you are effing this movie. You are so over the top.
Says what De Niro says to him?
He's telling Caruso that. He put him in the corner. But Caruso's really good in the movie. He's like really good in Mad Dog. I mean, he played a great cop.
Yeah.
I was watching an old Caruso movie the other night, China Girl, and he's good in it. Him and James Russo. I love the guy. We had great chemistry together. We had this other movie that we were going to do that he found.
Yeah.
And it never got made, but it was like a dark comedy. Because me and him, I still think could be fireworks. I don't know what it is. I'm dark. He's got red hair. We're both from Queens. Maybe that's it.
He's from Queens? I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
he's a Malloy guy.
So,
you know Malloy? Archbishop Malloy.
Sure, yeah. I didn't know that.
The famous Jack Curran.
Look, I'm obsessed with David Caruso.
Me too.
Everything about it.
Me too.
When we had our show open for the Super Bowl in Miami.
Did he come out?
Not him.
No.
Put it up on the screen. Who's
Who's
that?
this?
That's me.
That's you?
That's me.
That's pretty good, Rich.
That's me.
Do you imitate him?
Oh, damn straight.
It was great. It was a lot of fun.
Oh my gosh!
It was a lot of
It
fun.
was funny. We were still with DirecTV and AT&T, and the group that puts these opens together says we have two choices for your open that we've come up with for the Super Bowl in Miami.
Right.
The first one is a version of CSI Miami where you play Caruso, and I just stopped him right there. I'm like, I don't care what your other idea is. That's the one we're doing.
I'm doing it. Can you give me a line?
Then we got look at me right there.
I know,
See?
but I want to hear one line. Can you
One of
give
the
me-
lines. I'm like, what was? Jeez, I forget now.
Oh, man, I don't remember either.
I
should just
think
play
no.
it.
I
We
think
should
it's
play it
something like
back.
this is going into overtime, something like that. Like, yeah. Well, we obviously didn't have we couldn't afford the Who music. but
Yeah.
we got Rex Lynn to do his role too. We got the whole thing, man.
He didn't make eye contact in that show much, right? He never really looked at the other guy.
No, and
he's putting the glasses on and off.
his signature maneuver though.
That's brilliant.
His signature maneuver was to deliver the line. So many people would take off the glasses and deliver the line. He would put the glasses on and to deliver the line. That was the next level Caruso
It is.
maneuver.
It's an exaggerated Caruso, but I think it's brilliant. He wanted to be Steve McQueen. That's the problem. But there's only one Steve McQueen.
That's right.
McQueen's pretty cool.
There's
Caruso's cool too.
Caruso's pretty cool.
He's pretty cool.
He's pretty
We used to
cool.
go to lunch together, hang out together in his trailer, taught me how to smoke cigars. It's like, what's the matter with the rest of these guys here, Nick? They're not like you. It's like, yeah, they're not. But, I love you, Dave. Let's just take it easy. I go, don't quit the show. I pleaded with him. I go, that's a mistake, Dave. You don't throw a character like one of the great
Yeah.
TV guy.
And Bochco, the whole bit. Too.
Steve Bochco was behind them to a point. You didn't see James Gandolfini get rid of Tony Soprano in 1 year.
Yeah, he was lucky he got another big show
I
after
mean,
that.
my gosh.
Oh my God! Somebody's looking out for him
Yeah.
because when you throw that away, you're never going to get another shot like that.
Exactly.
So he was a very lucky man. Should count his blessings. I don't have that kind of luck. But what are you going to do? That's Caruso.
Nick Turturro here on the Rich Eisen Show. Thanks for coming on.
My pleasure.
brother.
Don't forget to plug White Claw Gabe.
Oh, yeah, White Claw Gabe. We've got about a minute and a half to go. I'm sorry we went down the Caruso.
I know you love Dave.
White Claw Gabe, who's like the king of TikTok, dropping F-bombs and whatever. I was introduced to his work
Yes.
yesterday. Your son is producing him? Is that what
He's
it
the
is?
producer of him. I'm sort of his, like, confidant.
He
But
runs by his takes.
yeah, he has to get all his material approved by my son. He's a very, very funny man. Probably the funniest man on social media. I knew he was funny for like 20 years, but I just didn't know how to get him there. But my son has kind of put him in the right platform. Today, it's all about platforms,
Yes,
Rich. You need a platform. Like, I don't have a real platform.
That's not true.
I have a little platform. I come on here, Twitter. But you need a platform but I also don't curse like that. I do curse, but not like that.
By the way, and for people who do know your platform and your takes on Twitter,
Yeah.
And maybe laughing that you don't curse like somebody else, it's true. You don't curse. White Claw Gabe is earmuff territory right there. But
Yeah.
he's interesting.
But
very
it
funny.
works.
He's very funny.
You can't change what works. You know
kids
what I
think
mean?
It works for this guy.
For him,
for
it does.
TikTok.
Yes, it works for him.
Some people are like, you're trying to be like White Claw. I go, I'm trying to be like, I know the guy 20-something years. You know my history? I invented White Claw.
That's right.
You know what I mean? I'm not
I
trying
was
to.
White Claw before White Claw.
That's right.
Come on.
And I love the guy. I'm a fan. I'm still a fan. I'll always be a fan. That's the difference with me and some other people. Like, they lost being a fan. Like,
Thanks for coming on, Nick.
My pleasure,
Really
buddy.
appreciate it. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.